And it seems like they were this past weekend. So they had a practice where they simulated like a game day type of situation, Jack, because they're really starting to dial in on this September 5th game day coming up next week, season opener against Kent State. So what went into that for South Carolina? Like, what was this past week looking like to make sure they're ready to go per Shane Beamer for the season opener?
Well, so I think when you're talking about so the scrimmage on Saturday is basically because they're off this Saturday, so it's a little confusing the way we worded it there. So okay, this is mock game week for South Carolina, so they're doing pretty much everything that they would do next week leading into the Kent State game. The only difference is there's no game on Saturday this week. There's not even practice on Saturday. Team is off on Saturday and then off on Monday next week. So they're doing everything like normal Monday to Friday, like they would during a game week. But there's no game to get ready for on Saturday. So Beamer kind of mentioned it. They basically simulated what Saturday for the first game will be like during this past Saturday's scrimmage, if that makes sense. So going through pregame routines, halftime procedures, 100-plus plays, all that sort of stuff. Of course, we're not in the building for the scrimmages. It's a closed scrimmage both times this preseason, so we're kind of just hearing word of mouth from people that were inside the building, relaying it to our reporters on the outside of what was going on. It seemed like I know Kristen West probably talked about this ad nauseum the other day, but it seems like the defense had a much better go around the scrimmage. That was also the sense that we got hearing from Clayton White today and hearing from the players yesterday, like J.R. Johnson and Kelby Collins. So things seemingly went pretty well in that scrimmage for the defense. Not to say that the offense didn't do anything. The offense had its moments, but this was definitely more of like a defensive day for sure. So, yeah, I mean, look, everything that you basically, to sum it up again, there's no scrimmage on this Saturday or anything. Players have off and whatnot. But everything they're doing Monday, to Friday, like it's just normal game week stuff, except, you don't have a game to get ready for on Saturday. It's just so everyone kind of understands the importance of what a game week looks like. That way, no one's caught off guard when next Monday and Tuesday are all around, and it's like, all right, we're getting ready to go for a game.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's what it's all about, right? The preparation. I always say it, prior preparation prevents poor performance. So hopefully all this prep for South Carolina will lead to a good start. We've said it several times, but you just need to get off to a fast start. You can't be having these, opening week scenarios for South Carolina where you're just not absolutely dominant. Like, the expectation is for South Carolina to dominate in its first 2 weeks of play. And so that's got to be the case. And that all starts with everything that they're doing right now. But